Picture this. It's Friday. You wake up, check your bank account, and see that direct deposit hit. It's a good feeling, right? Maybe it's $2,000, maybe it's $4,000. You feel safe. You feel middle class. But then you sit down to pay bills. The mortgage or rent takes 40% of it immediately. Then the car payment, the student loans, the credit card bill from that emergency trip last month. By Sunday night, that fresh paycheck is almost gone, and you'd have exactly 13 days to figure out how to survive until the next one. You did everything right. You went to school, you got the degree, you got the good job with health benefits, you followed the script. So why does it feel like you're running on a treadmill that's slowly increasing in speed while someone else is holding the incline button? Here's the thing. You aren't crazy. You're just caught in the most sophisticated financial trap ever created. It's called the middle class. And in 2024, I'm going to argue that for most people, it's a scam. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually works. Not just the math, but the psychology behind why we do what we do. If you are someone who is working harder than ever but seeing your savings account stay exactly the same, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, and honestly, it helps me know I'm on the right track with these deep dives. Today, we're going to break down why the middle-class dream is mathematically impossible for the modern earner, the psychological trick that keeps you poor, and exactly how to escape the trap. Let's start with the numbers, because numbers don't lie, people do. There's a pervasive myth that if you just earn 6 figures or close to it, you've made it. But let's look at what making it actually costs versus what it used to cost. In 1980, the median home price in the United States was roughly $47,000. The median household income was about $21,000. That is a price-to-income ratio of roughly 2.2. Look at that chart. Fast forward to today. The median home price is hovering around $420,000, while the median household income is around $75,000. That's a ratio of 5.6. Here's what most people don't realize. The cost of entry into the middle-class lifestyle, owning a home, 2 cars, maybe a vacation once a year, has mathematically doubled in difficulty, but your salary hasn't. So how do we bridge that gap? We don't use income, we use debt. The scam isn't that you aren't paid enough, although that's part of it. The scam is that the middle-class lifestyle is sold to you as a standard of living that requires you to leverage your future labor to pay for your present comfort. You are financing a 1980s dream on 2024 prices, and the math simply breaks. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nick, I get inflation, things are expensive, but I make good money. I make $100K. Why am I still broke? This is where it gets really interesting. It's not just the economy, it's your brain. There is a concept in psychology called hedonic adaptation, but in finance, we call it lifestyle creep. The middle class is the biggest victim of this. When you're poor, you buy survival. When you're rich, you buy assets. But when you're middle class, you buy status. You see, the middle class is this weird purgatory. You make enough money to qualify for loans, but not enough money to pay for things in cash. Let's say you get a $10,000 raise. The rich person invests that $10,000. The poor person uses it to pay off overdue bills. The middle-class person, they say, I can finally afford the payment on that BMW. They don't see $10,000 as capital, they see it as cash flow capacity. I want you to really listen to this. The middle class defines wealth by what they can buy. The wealthy define wealth by what they can keep. If you drive through a nice suburban neighborhood, you aren't seeing wealth, you're seeing debt. You're seeing people who are one corporate layoff away from total insolvency. That's not security, that's a high-wire act with no safety net. The tax trap, the silent killer. Look, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds of tax code, but we have to talk about who pays for society. If you are a W-2 wage earner, which 90% of the middle class is, you are in the most tax-disadvantaged position possible. Here is the flow of money for a middle-class earner. 1. You earn. 2. The government taxes you, federal, state, and FICA. 3. You spend what is left. Now, look at a business owner or investor. 1. They earn. 2. They spend on business expenses, write-offs, depreciation. 3. They pay tax on what is left. The system is designed to extract maximum value from high-income employees. If you're making $150,000 a year as a W-2 employee, you're likely paying a higher effective tax rate than someone making $10 million in capital gains and real estate depreciation. I'm not saying this to make you angry, well, maybe a little bit, but to show you that the safe path of the middle class is actually the most expensive path you can take. You're paying a premium for a safety that doesn't exist. The asset gap. Why you aren't getting ahead. Okay, let's get back to the math. I want to show you a calculation that scares me. Let's take two people, Sarah and Mike. Both are 30 years old, both earn $80,000 a year. Sarah, the classic middle class, buys a house for $400K, 5% down, huge mortgage, leases a nice SUV, $600 a month, saves 5% into her 401K, spends the rest on maintaining the lifestyle. Mike, the scam breaker, rents a modest apartment or house hacks, $1,500 a month, drives a paid-off 2015 Honda, invests 25% of his income into the S&P 500. Fast forward 30 years. Sarah owns her house. It's worth maybe $1.2 million due to appreciation, but she paid $800,000 in interest, taxes, and repairs to own it. She has a small 401k. Her net worth is decent, maybe $1.5 million, but it's all tied up in the house she lives in. She can't eat the house. She is house rich, cash poor. Mike, though, even if he never got a raise, just by investing that difference, Mike has a portfolio worth between $2.5 and $3 million in liquid assets. The middle-class scam tells you that your home is your biggest asset. It's not. For most people, a home is a liability that you live in, which hopefully acts as a forced savings account. Real wealth is not having a big house, it's having a big portfolio. The middle class focuses on the former, the wealthy focus on the latter. The escape plan. Now, I can hear the objections in the comments already. Nick, are you saying I shouldn't buy a house? Are you saying I should live in a box and eat rice? No, but I am saying you need to stop playing by the rules that were written for your parents. If you want to opt out of the middle-class scam, you have to change 3 specific things. 1. Redefine comfort. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses are broke. The Joneses are on antidepressants because they have $40K in credit card debt. You need to widen the gap. The gap is the difference between your income and your expenses. The middle class closes the gap as their income rises. You need to keep that gap wide open. Stop buying liabilities to impress people. This one is harsh, but nobody cares about your car. Seriously. When you drive by in a nice car, people don't think, wow, they're cool. They think, wow, I would look cool in that car. They're thinking about themselves. Stop financing depreciating assets. If you can't buy the car twice in cash, you can't afford it. Become an owner, not just a worker. You cannot save your way out of the middle class with a savings account yielding 0.01% or even 4% in an HYSA. You need to own equities. You need to own a piece of the economy, whether that's the stock market, index funds, real estate, or a side business. You need income that is not tied strictly to the hours you punch into a clock. Here's the bottom line. The middle class was a beautiful invention of the post-war era. It was a time when a single income could support a family, buy a home, and retire comfortably. That era is gone. It's history. Trying to live that lifestyle today without the economic conditions of 1960 is a recipe for burnout and bankruptcy. The system isn't designed for you to win. It's designed for you to participate. It wants you to be a good consumer, a reliable debtor, and a steady worker. But you have a choice. You can opt out of the game. You can choose to live smaller now so you can live freer later. You can choose to buy assets instead of appearances. It's not easy. It's actually really lonely sometimes because your friends won't understand why you're not upgrading your phone every year. But 10 years from now, when they're stressing about the next recession and you're sitting on a fortress of financial independence, it will all make sense. I want to know in the comments, what is the biggest middle-class trap you see people wasting money on? Is it cars? Weddings? Let me know below. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and smash that like button. It really does help the channel. And if you want to see exactly how I invest my own money to escape this trap, check out this video right here.
Welcome to the presentation. Let's begin with the overview.
And welcome to today's presentation. We have several key updates to cover.